everybody, it's Romania Black, and we are on volume 19 of Attack on Titan's manga, and I'm pretty darn excited. I'm excited. We're getting into season 3, part 2, which I really like. I feel like, I mean, there's no bad parts of Attack on Titan, let's be real, but I really think that once season 3, part 2 came down the pipeway, it's like the roller coaster has officially, like, we've set everything up. We've set everything up what you think you know up until the basement, and the basement's gonna be like, you knew nothing. But I really liked season 3, part 2, and it's been like almost a year since I've watched it, honestly. I haven't gone back and rewatched the anime because I knew I was gonna be reading the manga, and I'm like, well, what fun will the manga be if I already have been refreshed on what's happening? So I'm really excited to get to this, right? But we've got some comments before we do that, so I'm excited to dive in. Demir Dukik, I think I said that right, probably not, said back in volume 14 there was an error that made it seem like, I guess in the animation or in the illustration of the panel, there's a point where Erwin like leans down with the body of Demo Reeves, and the illustration made it look like, I don't know if it's Isayama's error or his assistant or whatever, but the image makes it look like Erwin's reaching down with his right hand to do something on Demo, and his right hand's the one that was gone. So everybody, I guess because these chapters came out a month at a time, everyone in the discussion forums was like, did Erwin's arm grow back? Like, what's happening? And I love that, because sometimes little errors like that, like, it's the tiniest thing. It's just a tiny little error. But if they don't catch it when it's published, and people in the Discord or in the discussion forums see, they're like, what is happening? Oh, does Erwin grow his arm back? Is he a Titan shifter? Like, you know, I could just imagine, because I used to be that person on the forums, like with the big 3, like with One Piece and Bleach. I would be like there every week looking at the Raws, being like, what do we think about this? And that was on a week-to-week basis, so I can't imagine, on a monthly basis what that's like. That's hilarious. Also, Demir pointed out that the way that the text is written in the parody speech, saloon, it says Sto has Sakaba, and Sakaba is like a combination of sake and pub. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I like that you could kind of decipher as you went through the story. If you knew Japanese, you could kind of decipher as you went. I thought that was really fun. Morales talks about, what is Aaron's character? And I thought that's a good thing to bring up. Is he a sword, or is he a shield? Or is he both? Because they were talking about how during Trost, he would turn into a sword, technically in Titan form, to protect Mika. These are both related to protecting Mikasa, by the way. But it was the idea of Eren becoming a sword to protect Mikasa by just going straight on in, fighting the Titans one-on-one when she was about to be squashed by one at Trost. And then you cut to now, back in volume 15, where Eren took the armor Titan to protect her and was the shield. So Eren can be both the sword and the shield, which is kind of funny because then the Ackermans are considered to be the sword and the shield as well. So I thought that was a really interesting thing to point out. And then, yeah, Morales also noted that, you know, it kind of sucks because Reiner, Bertholdt, Annie, they had access to all the other Titans that they needed for Marley right there and then. They had Ymir and they had Eren, which was the founder, the Jaw, and the Attack Titan. That's all they needed. Could have just grabbed Ymir and Eren, and they had Ymir and Eren in their clutches at one time. If they'd just taken them both back to Marley, the story would be over. But that's not how it worked out. It's a fun little irony, right? And then also Demir pointed out, and I don't know if this is true, Demir, I feel like in the anime we talked about this, but Demir pointed out the writing on the bottle in volume 16 says armor brawn. And they were like, oh, and they went into this spiel about how it's theorized that the Titan things are all like for family bloodlines and stuff, but I don't quite believe that. I don't know. I feel like the teacher in me came out and I was like, I want to check the syllabus, because it seems like, why would that be the case? If it was the case that the bloodlines were indicative of who is going to get what Titan shifter, then why did they even have a training? Why did they even have trials? They should have just been like, Reiner, you're going to be the armor Titan and that's it. But that's not how it went at all. It was Marcel and his brother Porco that was supposed to get it, and then and then he vouched for Reiner. So I don't quite believe that. I feel like somebody in the anime, when we were getting to that point, someone in the anime was noting that it was just like a weird discrepancy. It was a mistake or something. I just don't see why, if they were bloodlines, why it would even matter to go out and pick kids from Marley if you had them already chosen. That doesn't make sense. And it would defeat the whole purpose, right? So I don't think that's right. Even if it says Braun, it could be that it was the vial. Who knows? Well, but it wouldn't make sense for him to have the vial from 100 years ago if it doesn't make sense. Basically is the point of it. So I'm not really on that bandwagon. I'm like, this series, as we've seen with the Erwin panel, has made mistakes before. Attack on Titan is not a perfect series. We can't treat it like the Bible, you know? So I feel like, I don't know if I believe that, but it is interesting to note that it says that on the vial. And, you know, who knows? Names change too in this as well. We just talked last volume about how names changed with Porco and Marcel's characters. So, I don't know. We can comment down below about that and what we think about it. But in any case, I'm excited because we're diving in. We just found Reiner and Bertholdt in the walls. This whole thing is it's just so much. And we have the Thunderous's too, this volume. So that'll be a fun time. But I'm ready to talk about it, so I hope you all are too. But we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to dive right in and talk about Attack on Titan Volume 19. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. I really like this cover. It has Eren. I like it because it has Eren, Armin, and Mikasa together against Reiner. It has our trio. They've been separated for so long, and now they're back together. But also, I really like this because we had Armin on the last cover facing this way, and now we have Mikasa facing this way. So I'm like, is Volume 20 going to be Eren head-on, or is it going to be like Irwin or Levi? But War on Two Fronts, the Thunderous's, the world they saw, and Descent. Ooh, I'm like, is Descent the one with Bertholdt where he gives his speech? I think it is, where Bertholdt's like, nope, we got to do this. Okay, we'll see. And then everybody's there. Oh, we have the Beast Titan. We have Zeke now on there. We don't know his name yet, but we have the Beast Titan there. Interesting. Cool beans. And then we have all the Titans there, and Marco's still around for reasons. All right, the War on Two Fronts. Oh, that's a great double spread. I like that Levi just looks like he's like kicking off grunge. He's like, ugh. And also Levi and Armin don't look like they're dissimilar heights there, but Erwin's just, oof. Oh my God, and the Beast Titan, so scary. Yes. He's gonna come up here. Oh yeah, I forgot that Reiner leaps up there with Erwin, and Erwin's like, what of it? Like, just such a badass moment. I wanna see it. Okay. Are we waiting on attack orders? What is the commander doing? And Hanji's like, he's watching. Just let him be. Let him do this. Trust Erwin. Oh, there's the cart titan. Yay! It just pops out of nowhere. What? That is so weird. Look at it. Look at her. Peek, I'm sorry, but what? Why? I hope they show us close up. Oh, no! I know why they... you know... I'm sorry, but I'm sure that everyone that was manga reader, every manga reader was like, that was an improvement. What is that face? No, I made fun of the cart type because it had this really big mouth and bill in the anime. I was like, what is that? But it looks so much better than that. That looks so creepy and weird. This quadruped. Oh my God, that's so ugly. I can't. It's intelligent. Yeah. The cargo on its back. Yes. Oh my God. Also sad days because Peak didn't get to have coffee with the rest of them. Sad days. Like what? You bunch of sexist titans. Okay, and so then he sends them all out there. I love that one's just like, yes, like sashay away, and they're moving. It's like the raid at Utgard. Yep, they're gonna go for the horses first. Yep, their goal is to capture Eren, but they're gonna delete the escape options. I like the way Isayama drew like the little tiny chibi armor titan and the chibi beast titan. It's super, super cute. And he drew them all like dancing, the one titan's dancing towards the entrance. That's great. I'm sorry. The card titan design just freaking slayed me. It's over. And then they would wait a week, at most a month, for us all to waste away. And they could pluck him without even having to fight. Yeah, it's a pretty bold strategy, and it's not a bad one. Like, we're just going to get them to where they can't leave and just wait them out and then just take Erwin by force, and it won't be that hard. We still don't know where Bertholdt is. Yep. Oh, my God. I love that from Erwin, where he's been thinking. And Levi the whole time he's like, "Are you ready to talk, or should I go get breakfast?" I feel like I want to imagine a modern AU where Irwin and Levi are like at a hotel and they're ready to like. Levi's like, "So what are we doing today?" And Irwin's like goes into this like light yagami like pattern of thinking where he goes across all these scenarios, and Levi's like, "Should I just go get continental breakfast, or are we going somewhere?" Just that's great. Okay. Guard the horses with your lives. You guys take down the armored titans. Use the thunder spears. Okay. If you're wondering why I say thunder spears like that, it's because the idea of thunder spears, it makes me think of in Pokemon, in the English dub, Lieutenant Surge had this accent, and he would tell Raichi, the Pokemon he was using, he'd be like, "Raichi, use another thunderbolt." And he'd have this like Brooklyn accent. And so every time I hear thunder with something, I think of thunderbolt, thunder spears. I think it's like Pokemon has just altered my brain that way. So that's why I say it, because how can you not? Okay, dedicate your hearts. Let's go. What's interesting is I've been looking for Flock in all of these, and I haven't seen him lately. So maybe we'll see him again soon. Okay. And then Erwin's like, "You're going to stay here and protect the horses, not Erwin. Wait for your opening to kill that thing. You're the only one I can trust to destroy the Beast Titan." So yeah, Erwin's like, "Look, Aaron's got his friends. He's got his posse. He can take care of himself, but these guys need you to destroy the Beast Titan." And just the fact that Erwin said that Levi's the only one he can trust, like that's going to stick with Levi for a long time. "I'll make up for failing to kill that one armored brat earlier by taking its head." And that just, gets Levi even more incentive because he's like, "I didn't kill Reiner when I had the chance, and now we have that to worry about along with the Beast Titan." So he's like, "I got to make up for it." And he's like, "One of the fronts in this battle for humanity's fate will be under the command of you and Hanji." And so here's the thing that it's so cool to think of, because everybody says, like, once Erwin dies, he splits into three. He splits into Levi, Hanji, and Armin. And in this instance, you see Levi go one way and Hanji and Armin go another way. So it's the two fronts. So you can see Erwin, like, you can see what Isayama's doing and setting this up. Like, I'm setting up these three to be a representative of Erwin as a whole, which just says something for Erwin, that it takes three people to be him. Oh my God. Yep, and there's Reiner on top of the wall, concentrated into one spot. I just can't get over how bad the Cart Titan looks. It looks worse farther away. Kill the horses and get away from here. That's all I need to do. Oh my God, the idea of he's no match for our strongest warrior. Oh my God, like the thing is stuck in his neck. Oh, that's so creepy. Like he probably can feel, oh yeah, that was close. If I had waited a moment longer to transfer my brain functions throughout my whole body, I would have died on the spot. Yeah, so that's the thing. That is the part that everybody's like, wait, you can do that? That's always, everybody says that Reiner has plot armor. And I will admit, that is something where it's like, that never gets brought up again, that they can do that. So how did Reiner manage to do it? It speaks a lot for Reiner. Now, if that comes into play in the last part of the anime, like with Eren, if Eren can transfer his consciousness to the rest of his body, and we see that happen, then it'll be like, okay, well, the Titans knew they could do it. It's just, in the moment, you don't think about it, because, I mean, it's like a panic fight or flight syndrome. So I don't know, but I do admit, when people get mad about that plot hole, I'm like, yes, it is a very contrivance with it, but you know what? I love Reiner so much, I'm going to give him a pass. Isayama's going to make up for it by torturing him beyond all belief for the rest of the manga and anime. So I'm like, you know what, Reiner, maybe it was better if you had died back then compared to what Isayama's going it's fine. Armin, was it you? It doesn't matter now. Our journey is coming to an end. Rumbling, rumbling. Like you can hear the rumble there. It's finally coming to an end. Erwin Smith. Erwin just staring at him. The balls on this man. The balls on him. Just to stand there and stare like, what are you gonna do? Oh my God. And I like that Reiner is so, like, you can tell he's distracted. He's thinking about Armin. He's thinking about Erwin. He's not thinking about the mission. Reiner is easily distracted, kind of like Aaron can be, right? You're seeing the similarities. They both are thinking about things that are not part of the mission. And then there's Aaron. Yeah. Why did you show yourself? You're aware that you're our target. What are you trying to pull? And Aaron's like, follow me. He's like a dog that like comes up and tags you and wants you to chase after him. Yep. Oh. And then Reiner realizes that Aaron is taking, that Aaron's going to take the way around. And he's like, if his plan was to escape, he could have used the vertical equipment. But their goal is to change my target from the horses to Aaron. What are you going to do? Oh, yes, that shot. It's one of my favorites. I love that Erwin takes his hood off and just stares at him like, go on, bitch, do something. Oh my God. You're not even giving me time to think. Damn it, Commander. And I climbed all the way up here using Aaron as bait. Because the thing is, Aaron is the final target. So, on the one hand, I guess, on the one hand, Reiner could have gone and killed the horses. And that could have stopped everything. But then if Aaron got over the wall and escaped, then what? Then it doesn't matter. You've killed all these people for no reason. You're still back to square one. Aaron could go back. It's interesting because, like, on the one hand, Reiner should know Aaron's not going to leave everybody. Here's the thing. Reiner's not been around to see the inside of what Aaron's thinking. Because we as the audience know there is no way in hell that Aaron would leave Armin and Mikasa and go back to Trost. There's no way. Wasn't going to happen. Never. Aaron would never leave all of them. He feels too much guilt over the people that have already died because of him. Armin and Mikasa are there. He ain't leaving them. It's just like there's so many factors we as the audience know. We're like, well, that's dumb, Reiner. Aaron's not going to do that. But Reiner's not been there with Aaron to see him have these thoughts, to see what we've seen as the audience. He just knows that objectively, if I'm following the mission and the mission is to get Aaron, I've got to do whatever I can to get Aaron, and there he is. So even though it doesn't make sense for Aaron to leap over the wall and run away, Reiner's like, I can't take that chance because that's the mission. So, it basically saved all of their lives, essentially. Reiner making this decision is something that affected the entirety of this entire plot. Because if he had just gone and killed the horses and Levi and all them down there, it'd been over. Like, done. The series has ended. But Reiner made a decision that changed everything. What do we do? Yep. Those were Erwin's orders. Yep, Levi's forces and Aaron will take down the Titan using a pincer attack. Okay, so they did account for this. Like, if Reiner chooses the horses, Aaron will go back towards Trost District and attack the Beast Titan from behind. So, either way, it was... But that plan was much more dangerous and much more non-predictable because Aaron versus the Beast Titan at this point in time, I think Aaron would have lost. I don't think he could have faced Zeke at this point in time. And if Reiner was there too, 2-on-1, no way. He couldn't have done it. So it's a big gamble, right? Will Reiner be able to see that far ahead? And Aaron says, yeah, he will. He's going to know what's going on. I like that Aaron has that. He knows Reiner enough to understand that he's probably going to get it, right? And Bertholdt's still there. Yeah, I like that they're like, look, Bertholdt is still hiding, so we can't be sure that this is going to go off without a hitch. Just fight away from the wall, and that way Bertholdt can't surprise you from it. I beat you once before. Oh my god, it's just like Reiner and Bertholdt are just destined to just fight each other over and over again, which makes me curious how we're going to handle this in the final part, but we're a long time away from that. Annie was way tougher than you. Oh, I love Aaron. Like, Aaron sticking up for Annie in that moment. That was fun. Like, good for you. Good for you, Annie. Oh, look at that. You know what? It's so cool to see how far Isayama's come in how he draws, because now, like, looking at the way he draws muscles and like the fact that he has Aaron's like Titan body drawn that way, like, it just shows how far he's come since the last time we've seen Reiner and him fight, right? So good. And it's hard to draw Reiner. I mean, like, you would think it'd be easier because it's just so much, it's just muscle, but you have the armor on top of it, right? Oh my gosh, yes. Do you have any idea where we are right now? Yeah, this is where it all began. Like, Aaron's like, this is my stomping grounds, and you showed up and reminded me of all this. This is where we once called home. Oh, and Aaron's face, I'm taking it back, and I'm going to crush you and get back everything you stole from us. And it's so funny because Aaron is just like Reiner. Reiner's like, I just want to go back to my home and get everything back that was taken from me. Good, the thunder spears. Okay, so Marlowe tying up the horses and everything. Hey, there's Flock. Look at him bitching. Where, Marlowe? Where do we tie up the horses? Oh my god, you can tell that floofy hair. Yeah, and they don't even call out that it's Flock, but you know it's him, right? I remember in the anime seeing him being that way. Oh, it's a Titan. Yeah, and a lot of these guys have never encountered a Titan before, so they have no clue what they look like. Imagine that. Okay. And then, yeah, Flock's ahead of him. It's so cool that Isayama is like, we don't really even know who Flock is, but he's showing him now just in the background. And then, yeah, more of those, mop up those runts now before the Beast Titan makes his move. No casualties here. I forbid you to die. And he'll say that again when they're in Marley. Oh, Levi. The weak ones die so fast. I hate weaklings. Oh, Levi. And then him looking up to the wall to Erwin. Oh, that he hates people with weakness because they die so fast. And he looks right up to Erwin as he says that because he's so afraid that Erwin is going to die because he doesn't have his arm. What balls on this man, though, to stand on top of the wall with his arm missing, just watching it all go down. Okay. The Survey Corps strength isn't what it once was. But without all those losses, we wouldn't have made it to where we are now. Yeah. And so then we go back to the preview. When I was in the training corps, I'd tell my friends about the theory my father and I had. I thought I'd prove it when I joined the Survey Corps. And then we see Niall there too. Erwin looks so little. As soon as I became a soldier, I stopped talking about it for some reason. Because I realized something. I was the only one fighting for my own sake. Everyone else had devoted everything they had to fight for humanity. I alone had dreams of my own. Before I knew it, I had subordinates under my command, and I spoke words of inspiration to my comrades. I told them to dedicate their hearts to humanity. That's how I fooled my comrades. And we see from No Regrets, we see him and Levi, yep, with the sword that he grabbed. I'm sure that everybody at that moment was like, wait, how did he meet Levi? What's happening? What's that backstory? Tell us things, show. How I fooled myself and built this mountain of corpses. Yes, on which I now stand. Oh my God. That is so insane. And then, yep, Gilgar and Mike and Nanaba. And yet my mind keeps drifting back to the basement. Like standing on top of the wall, and the wall is built on corpses, which is such a great play on the wall is actually built on the Titans, you know? I love this moment of Erwin because he's so he's self-aware. He's like, I realized that I was the only one that seemed to have my own agenda, And so I started lying and saying I was doing this all for humanity, but I've not been doing this all for humanity. I've been doing this for myself. And even as I stand here on this mountain of corpses that I've built to get here, I understand that what I'm doing is selfish, and I'm still doing it. And it's like, ugh! It's so cool to compare and contrast him and Aaron, because there is a selfishness to both of them. But at the end of the day, it's like, what's the overall trajectory of their selfishness? For Erwin, it's understanding humanity as a whole and finding out what's beyond the wall and proving and getting out there and proving there's more to the world. And for Aaron, the selfishness is to contain everything that he holds dear from the rest of the world. So I mean, there's I like how Isayama makes them similar and different, right? God, that imagery is so good though. I love it. Even if this plan fails, I may yet see it before I die. Meaning that Erwin was fully prepared to like go find that basement, be like, Aaron, let's go if things went south. The truth about this world. Yeah, oh my God. Just build it up even more, why don't we? Yep. And then Aaron just being like, all the experimentation, I can fight with these fists and focus my hardening. Yep. Which I like. I like that the manga, you know, the anime kind of glossed over it. So, but the manga showed Aaron doing all these experiments. So, I mean, it's cool that it kind of has that continuity. Oh my God, him lifting him up in the air. Oh, nope. I mean, collateral damage at this point is what? Oh man, oh, barely missed. Okay. Everything depends on the first attack. We need to be in the perfect position. And this iron rod, yep, it's a spear. Yep, our blades are useless against it. That's why we're going to use this. Yep. So we say that great things from the hardened punch. The hardened punch that Aaron acquired in last month's experiments. I like that you've acquired, it's like a little video game. You've acquired hardened punch, you know. Again, the manga giving us a lot more detail on having that. We have to kill the two responsible for breaching it, Reiner and Bertholdt. But Reiner doesn't die because Isayama's not done torturing him. Yep. And then they test out the thunder spears. It's like a bolt of lightning to get through the armor. Yep, they got to get Reiner in a position where they can use the spears. And Reiner's like, well, what could that... They can't even scratch. And then he sees it. Yep. Oh my God, in the eyes. Oh shit, and like a grenade. Oh shoot. Oh, it worked. Oh, poor Reiner. Just getting his eyes. We have to end it right here. That phrase, right here, right now. And it's John and Connie going after him. Oh my gosh. Yep. And then the fact that it's all of them, that it's Reiner, Connie, Mikasa, Armin, all of them together, pulling the Thunder Spears against Reiner. Yep. The nape has been stripped. The Thunder Spears worked. Yep, and then fire it one more time and finish him off. We were prepared for this moment to come, right? Oh, I like that John, in this moment, Hanji's like, we have to finish him off. And everybody just kind of stops and they're like, oh, we're going to kill Reiner. Like, Connie and Sasha are like, Armin and Mikasa. And John's like, no, we have to do this. Like, this is what we have to do. But then we find out later, no, you don't have to do that, actually. But in the moment, how can you know, right? Oh, my God. Now, did he displace his consciousness again in this? Did that happen? That art is insane. And he's like, wait a second. Yeah, like, wait. Like, that's the moment where he's like, wait. Like, he was not, everything suddenly he regretted. There was a moment of regret there. What plugging a hole like that, what a reckless plan. Aaron might even get eaten. If that happens, they'll stay ignorant. If the plan succeeds, they'll close the hole we worked so hard to make. We finally found the key we spent the last 5 years searching for. Oh, yeah, we're back. We're back. to this at Trust. What in the world are you guys talking about? Oh, shit, no! Oh, no. Oh, Marco, he looks so damn innocent! No! Oh. A joke. Oh. And Marco figures it all out. Yeah. He figures out that they could. And he tried to get away. Oh. And so that means, yep. Oh. And then Reiner, oh no. Oh, this is hard to watch, y'all. This is hard to watch again. You've been good at picking up on things, so I can't let you go. And then he tried to talk. He tried to talk, and Reiner tried to silence him. And he said, Annie, save me. Oh. Oh, no. He heard. And then, yeah, there's a Titan coming this way, and he wants them to help. And that's when Reiner asks Annie to take the gear off of them. You two caused this mess, so you guys do this. You haven't given me a reason. You risked your own life to save Connie's. Why would you put yourself in that kind of danger? Which is so, kind of hypocritical of Reiner to say when he's going to do the exact same thing for Connie later on because she cared about them. Yeah, have you started feeling compassion for this evil race? And this is the first time it's brought up that they're a different race, right? Prove me wrong. If you say that you and your father waiting for you to come home are different from this defiled race, prove it to me. Oh my God, Annie. And then Bertholdt's like, Reiner, we gotta go. And then she tells him to stop. Why are you doing this? And Marco just asking, like, why can't we talk about this? Like they could have just talked, right? It's making that choice. That's what makes us warriors. That's what it was. They were waiting for all the Titans to gather. And then she throws away his equipment. And he says, wait, why are you in such a rush? Oh, Marco, damn it. Damn it. We haven't even had a chance to talk this over. And that's the heart of the whole damn thing. That's the heart of the whole damn show. Is that instead of like people just not taking the time to sit down and talk and understand one another, just taking action because they think that's their only choice. And if they don't, the only way to get what they need to get to survive is just to take action and not think about it. And just to separate people into different sides of us versus them. And because you do that, you just keep the cycle going. And Marco's like, why don't we just talk it out? And we could have changed something. And that's going to go back to Aaron. Aaron, instead of, Aaron thinking he's like, I have no time to talk it out or do anything. It reminds me of Sweeney Todd. If you've seen Sweeney Todd, it's a play from the 80s. It was adapted into a Johnny Depp movie later on. But the point of it is at the very end of the play, spoilers for Sweeney Todd, if you care. But at the end of the play, Sweeney Todd has a choice and he makes a split decision to enact violence against someone. And in that split decision, he doesn't realize the person he's enacting violence against is someone he's been looking for this entire time. And so at the very end, he realizes that he killed the one thing he was looking for, right? And that's kind of the representation, like this whole time, Aaron's seeking freedom, and Reiner, Bertholdt, and Annie are seeking things. And the thing was, if they just talked it out and thought for a moment, they could have found that, but instead they acted because they didn't think they had time. They didn't think there was time but to act, and because of that, it just caused everything to just go up in smoke, right? God, it sucks. But God, this sucks too. Yeah, this sucks too. Oh. And the worst part is, like, seeing him just like Annie and Bertholdt are sitting there crying, and then Reiner goes back. He can't handle it. Reiner can't handle the emotional strain of what's happening, and he reverts back to the soldier form. Why is Marco being eaten? And it was his fault. And it was Reiner's fault.
the whole time. Oh my god. Oh my god, Isayama, that's so cruel! How could you? How could you? And then we go back to them on top of the wall with Zeke. Uh-huh. And Bertholdt's just like... Bertholdt's like, this whole thing is messed up a bit, right? Little Annie should be fine. She's not being tortured. Uh-huh. They're going back to what Armin told them. And then I like that we get Zeke scratching the ear. Like, that's a nice little touch Isayama says to show him doing that. Uh-huh. They know her identity. Are you not committed? What was the decision we made the other day? Uh-huh. And Zeke's like, did we not decide to do something? Mm-hmm. I don't mind doing it again, Reiner, but if we lose next time, you're going to have to give me the armor to another warrior. Uh-huh. Then get it together. I like that Zeke is very threatening in this moment, and he's doing nothing. Zeke's just sitting there drinking his coffee, be like, if you can't do what we asked you to, we're going to give your abilities to somebody else. And yeah, we have to regain the coordinate and put a stop to this cursed history. Let's just end this. I want us to end it. And the thing about it is that Zeke has not told his plan to Reiner and Bertholdt, I'm fairly sure. I'm sure that in their mind, when they say end it, they're thinking, oh, we're going to get Eren, go back to Marley, and things are going to be all hunky-dory by their standard. But Zeke's like, no, we're going to end all the Eldians, so it's fine. But he's not telling them that. We don't need to put any more people through this hell. Let's just end it. And he's like, War Chief Zeke. Ah, so the Card Titan is the first one to say Zeke's name. Yes, awesome. I just love, I love that when Zeke looks over to Bertholdt, he's like, let's just end it. Let's not put other people through this hell. I don't think Bertholdt knows, again, I don't think he knows Zeke's nihilistic plan to euthanize the Eldians, but he just assumes we just need to get Reiner and Annie out of here. And not, but here's the thing that's so like messed up about it is because Bertholdt says that he doesn't want people like Marco to die anymore, right? But I'm like, when you take Eren back to Marley, everyone in Parody that you know is going to die. So, what? They've passed the base. Yep, and there we go. Now, my brave warriors, let's settle this and fulfill our mission. It's hot! Yes! I love that Zeke tries to be cool. He tries to be cool and he tries to be badass, but there's like a little bit of dorkiness to Zeke that just shines through. Uh-huh. I see what you're doing, Isayama. I see it. I see it. How many times I've said this already? We're going to be in separate positions, so think and act on your own for once. I like that Bertholdt's like, I'm fully capable of that. I'm worried about you. I feel like Bertholdt's like, I'm the one that worries about you. You're supposed to be the strongest of all, but you always leave the job to others when it matters. I've never considered you reliable until now. Mm-hmm. Which, again, that puts Bertholdt in such an Armin position, doesn't it? You know? I feel like Annie is in the Mikasa position, and Reiner's in the Eren position, and Bertholdt's in the Armin position, where, you know, which suggests, is Armin the strongest of the three of them? Maybe. Keep it up until your loving reunion with Annie. He's like, I told you it's not like that. Even Annie would be liable to mistake any bastard who comes rushing to save her from a life or death situation for her Prince Charming, including you. And Krista, I made a promise to Ymir. We're going to save her no matter what. I like in that moment, which is, one, hilarious, because Reiner's like, oh, anybody that comes to save Annie is going to be the rescuer. And meanwhile, Armin's been talking to her this entire time, leading up to season 4. Annie is Bertholdt, so there's that. But then, two, I like that Reiner is not after Krista out of, like, a romantic saving the damsel in distress, kind of like what he wants for Bertholdt and Annie, but he's literally doing it for Ymir. So, what a wingman! Good on you, Reiner. Way to be a wingman, Reiner. You do you. I'm counting on you, buddy. Leave it to me. Yeah, the two of them doing the fist bumps. It's like, that's the thing Isayama does. Even though you know that we shouldn't be necessarily rooting for Reiner and Bertholdt because they want to kill Aaron and them. It's like you can't help but root for them because you're like, man, it's just like showing that on both sides, it's just people. It's just people with agendas that are helping the ones that they care about. That's literally war. Yep. So, it's been a while. Why haven't you given me the signal yet? Are you still out there? Oh my God. Yep. And Reiner, we took down the armored titan. His head went flying. Oh my God. Ugh. Yep. Oh, and Sasha and Connie. Yep. And of course, John's trying to be strong, but he's like, yeah, we're not done yet. Don't cry. We're the ones who killed him. We don't have a right to cry. Oh, wow. And then Aaron and Reiner in the same position next to one another. Kind of looking a little bit like Declaration of War, where they're like sitting right next to each other, right? Interesting. Yeah, like the Jean's like, don't cry. We're the ones who killed him. I'm like, all we've done is kill Reiner. I'm like, you technically haven't killed him yet. But yeah. I'm like, Jean's trying to be strong, but he feels the exact same way as them. We're not finished. There was no room for negotiation. We're the ones with the overwhelming lack of knowledge. We don't have the power to capture and restrain a human that can transform. And if we can't do that, this is our only option. It was unavoidable. Yeah, that's the thing. Armin's trying to justify it and be like, look, we couldn't help it. This is what we had to do. And it's like, yeah, you know, it's like Armin's trying to justify it in this moment and say, we didn't have a choice. We had to do things this way. But, and there is some truth to that, right? Because the problem is, like, as much as I preach about, like, the show is trying to say, you need to talk, you need to negotiate, there has to be an understanding between both sides, and there has to be an openness between both sides, too. Armin's kind of right, saying, like, we can't really negotiate when we don't know the entire thing on the table. Like, in order for negotiation to work, both sides have to be honest with one another. Everybody has to come to the table from an equal understanding, even if their opinions are different, and then go from there. If a party comes in without knowing everything about the situation, how can they hope to be on equal grounds and to be treated fairly, right? So there is some truth to that, or Armin's like, because we don't know the whole situation, how can we possibly negotiate? And that's what leads to situations like these. So I'm glad that that point is brought up. But yeah, and then there's the signal. Reiner's still attached. Yep. Oh. Nope. That's him roaring, and then, yeah. I still can't get over the cart titan's face! Oh my God, yes! And that's the signal. And Bertholdt's been in the barrel the entire time. Crap. Yep, I forgot he was in the barrel. I forgot he was in the damn barrel! Yep. Where are you, Reiner? I'm coming for you. Oh, Bertholdt! There he is gonna get blown away. Get away from Reiner. Yep. They got us. Descent. Ah, yes! Okay, and then everybody's like, well, shit, the Colossus Titan's about to go. If he's that close to us, there'll be no way to get away in time. I just need to blow this area away. And that's when he sees Reiner. And he hesitates. Because if he blows that whole area away, then Reiner's dead. And he can't kill his friend. Yep. Oh, Bertholdt! Oh my God. Reiner. Yeah, because that wasn't part of the plan. Wasn't part of the plan. Yep. Oh, Reiner. He's alive. You were able to transfer your consciousness throughout your nervous system. If you use your nervous system with a Titan's brain, you'll even be able to retain your memories. Ah, but it's a last resort. So interesting. So again, I wonder if this is ever going to come up ever again, or if it's a one-time thing. A one-time deal only. I need you to move your body for a bit. I'm going to end this. Yep. He aborted the attack once he saw what state Reiner was in. I love Hanji's just sitting on top of Aaron's shoulder. It's really cute. We could call this lucky. And then Bertholdt, Armin makes the mistake of trying to play with Bertholdt again, and it's just too much, right? Yep, because he doesn't know. This is our last chance to negotiate. Bertholdt, stop where you are. God, the fact that Bertholdt and Armin are talking. Yep, and that it's going to be Armin that eats Bertholdt in the end. Oh my God. What in the world are you thinking? I like that Aaron's like, what is going... This is really important, too, this whole scene, because he's like, Armin, what are you thinking? He's like, Bertholdt, let's talk. He says, if we talk, will you all agree to die? We want you to give us to Aaron, and we want all of humanity inside the walls to be wiped out. That's just how reality is, Armin. And he's like, who decided that? He's like, I did. What did you say? I decided it. I was hoping. And then he brings Annie into it, right? Then let her. Let them feed her to their pigs, which is funny because of Fritz, right? Because of Ymir Fritz. That's if you've actually captured her. Where are you going? Aren't we going to talk? Oh my God, I love them facing. I love it. I love it. Yep. Oh. He's like, get back, Aaron. You're at a disadvantage against him, right? This isn't your time to take the stage. I like that Jean's there, like tugging on Aaron's hair. I love that Jean's there tugging on it. Why, Armin? Because Armin's trying to do something. You're just buying time. As long as you're standing here shaking, you can't do a damn thing. Why did you agree to talk? I wanted to make sure. I thought when I showed up that you might start whining and begging for mercy again. You're fine now. You're all cherished friends and you're really trying to kill us. Is it because we're descendants of devils? Oh no, you haven't done anything wrong and you're not devils. It's just that you all have to die and there's nothing you can do now. I'm just like, that's what's so frustrating. Is because he's just like, oh no, you just have to die. That's just how it is. And I'm like, but why? But why does it have to be that way? And then Mikasa coming in and slicing off his ear. It's so frustrating because like Armin on one hand, Armin doesn't know the full situation. So he's like, I can't properly negotiate with you because I don't know what we're dealing with. And Bertholdt's not telling him. And Bertholdt's not giving him any other reasoning other than like, no, we just have to kill you. That's just the way that it is. And Armin's like, but why does it have to be that way? Oh my God. He's going to go rescue the armor titan. Don't chase him. Oh. Yep. He had something planned. Was that even really Bertholdt? He seemed like a different person. And he's facing upwards. What are we supposed to do? Yeah, because he's protecting Reiner. I'm barely even scared. Any outcome would be acceptable. No one's at fault. Nothing could have made a difference. Not in a world this cruel. And I hate it because it's like, but it doesn't have to be cruel. You're making it that way. You're not explaining. You're not... it's so frustrating because it's like, it didn't have to be this way. If you just finished the sentence, it's cruel, but it's beautiful. If you just finished the sentence, if you just took a step further, if you just explained more, but you didn't want to do it because you didn't think that that was an option. It's so frustrating. And what I was going to say is what's bad about it is that it's another example for Aaron of Armin tried to negotiate with Bertholdt, but because the thing about it is both sides have to be willing to come to the table. That's the secret of it. That's the miracle, is when both sides agree to compromise, to talk, to negotiate. In this scenario, Armin wanted to, but Bertholdt wasn't willing anymore. And so that was the problem. And all Aaron sees in this moment, is, oh, well, Armin tried to negotiate and it didn't work. So it's not going to work. And it's like, No, but you see that's what Aaron, the examples that Aaron gets, right? So it's so damn frustrating. He started to ascend. Yep. And then there we go. Oh, and Moblit going in and being like, Hanji! And Moblit saving her. And Levi and Erwin, like, their faces, Levi's like, well, shit. And Erwin's like, oh my God. And then them on top of Aaron's shoulders. Oh my God. Yep. Mm-hmm. And there we go. Oh no. And then Mikasa grabbing Armin. Yep. And Connie and Jean and Sasha with Aaron. Yep. Oh. Not an analogy for anything, right? But again, I feel like the whole atomic bomb symbolism there is, again, basically symbolism for the actual atomic bomb being like, well, we have no choice. You did. But this was the choice you made. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's an analogy for that entirely. Like, there were ways that it could have gone down, but this is what you chose to do instead. Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely mirroring reality a little bit there. And then Erwin. I like that Erwin doesn't shield his eyes. He just stares into the storm. Like, if that's not a metaphor for him, I don't know what is. Are you still alive? Yeah, I'm still alive somehow. And then Mikasa and Armin. Yep, I like they're all gathered with Aaron. They're like all gathered beside him. They were near Bertholdt. Oh my God. And yep, there he is. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. And then Reiner's growing back. Yeah. Are we the only ones who survived? Well, Hanji did, barely, by getting in that well, thanks to Moblit. Oh my God. Yep. Oh, that's so, it looks like the attack on Mars is what Reiner looks like. Oh my God, why are we back to this thing? Why? Armin's cute little friend eats up a bully. Oh my God, why, Isayama? What you yelling about? Isn't this what you wanted? Oh my God, why is that Jean? Why is he eating Jean? Why? No. I'm not a pet, but I'm not a human either. There aren't any crimes I can't be charged with. And you're just my friend. They won't say you're responsible for this either. Oh my God, what the fudge is this? The important thing is Big Jean is going to disappear. His magical tummy pocket makes any dream come true. What the fuck? He'll be inside my 4D tummy pocket. What the hell, Isayama? What is this? Don't let him eat Jean. What are we doing? No, Isayama. Stop. That's horrible. I don't like this at all. Oh my God. Their first enemy and their final battle. One must disappear from this world. Oh my God. Remember when Bertholdt was like supposed to be the big bad? He kind of is of season 3, part 2, but, well, I would say him and Zeke and Reiner, but, oh my God. Oh, y'all. Oh, y'all. Oh. Why? Oh my God. Well, you know, I just, yeah, it's just, it's so horrible. And I feel like the big problem with everything is that, the big problem with it all is that with the situation happening and the characters, it's one of those situations where there was always a way, but it was just getting both sides to be willing to do the way, right? And it's so sad because for a long time you felt like Bertholdt would be willing to listen to Armin and talk, but then they just kept getting pushed into a corner. And for Bertholdt, he's like, yeah, Armin, you may be willing to talk to me, but I know Mikasa's about to kill me behind me, and I know all your other friends are trying to kill my friends, so unless we can all stop and come to the table together, this isn't going to work. And just you negotiating is not going to be enough. Which makes me think that with, season 4, part 3, I've not gotten to the anime, obviously, or the manga, But my theory is that, like, because of the rumbling and what Aaron's doing, it's going to be the opportunity for the rest of the world to come to the table and be like, okay, yeah, we're all about to die. Let's talk now. And maybe did Aaron anticipate that? Who knows? Is that just the random coincidence of what happens? Who knows? We'll find out when we get there. If that's what ends up happening, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what ends up happening, because it's like what Pixis said at the beginning. Like, sometimes you just need one enemy to focus on and bring everybody together, and maybe the rumbling is literally doing that. But at this time, it's so frustrating because Bertholdt makes a decision, and it's the one decision that keeps them from being able to talk, and it's like, why can't we have nice things? But, oh man, I feel like, are we getting a Midnight Sun next volume? Are we getting a Midnight Sun? I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. I wasn't ready to see Marco die in this. Marco's death was like, and the power went off. My power went off at home right when I was in the middle of that, and so I had to stop and restart this. And I was just like, oh my god, of course. It's like, just to keep me from getting sad. But damn it. Okay. So yeah, there we are. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. I still can't believe the Cart Titan looks as ridiculous as they do. But what can we do? So I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm really excited to see next week. Next week's going to be rough. Next week's going to be a rough time because I'm not ready. I'm not ready for Midnight Sun. I'm not ready for Hero. I'm not ready for Erwin to die. I'm not ready for any of that shit yet. But what can we do? So I hope you all enjoyed this reaction and discussion. I'm excited to hear your thoughts down below. I'm not ready, y'all. But we got to do it. So in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. Take care. And yeah, I'll be back very soon, oh my god, with more Attack on Titan manga. Bye.